Hello everyone, welcome back to OptimizEvony. Today we're going to be talking about free mounted general gear, and this is going to be I guess a combo of PvP and bosses. There's really not too much difference there. Some people prefer to optimize a little bit more for HP on bosses to reduce wounded, but in general, this is a pretty good setup. I use it for both bosses and for PvP marches. But yeah, let's get into it. So this is again only free gear. So this is only Aries and Archae gear, not any of the Civ gear, not any of the paid gear that you can get, or gear that you can get in Taisha's Wheel. So yeah, there's the one thing that you want to optimize again for is your set bonuses here. So let's look at the set bonuses that you get. So for Aries gear, you get if you get 2 of 6, you get attacking troops attack 15%. Super important to have that. 4 of 6, ground and mounted troop attack and defense on monsters plus 25%. So that helps with those bosses again. Since your mounted troops are going to be used for bosses as well as PvP, it's kind of important to have that 4 of 6 set bonus as well. And then the last one here for Aries gear is march size capacity 10%. I'll talk a little bit about why I don't think that this is worth it for your mount gear. Some people do go full Aries gear, and there is a path to do that. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But that also gives you the plus 10 march size capacity. Some people will also do that for monsters in particular, for bosses in particular, because it allows you to send more troops, which again can reduce your wounded on those big bosses. So some people who have a set strictly for bosses and strictly for PvP would maybe switch it up and have a full Aries set for bosses and have kind of a split set like I'm going to show you for PvP. So then let's look at the Archae set bonuses. 2 of 6, all troop attack, 10%. Important there. Yeah, always are trying to improve your attack. So this is going to be a straight 10% attack for all troops, regardless of whether they're attacking, defending, reinforcing, whatever. So this is important for sure. And then you have that same middle skill, the ground and mountain troop attack and defense on monsters. Yep, and then the last one is the enemy troop attack minus 15%. Yeah, for mounted gear, there's just too many good mount buffs on Aries gear to even consider doing a full set of Archae gear for mounted. But yeah, let's get into kind of the specifics here. So I have chosen to do a 4 and 2 pairing. So it gives you the four set bonuses for the Aries, and then the all troops attack 2 set bonus for the Archae gear. So that gives you a total of 25% attacking troop attack that is going to be added to your mount buffs, which I think is really the best thing that you can do for your PvP march. So the specifics of it, I think there's a few pieces that are absolutely critical for your mount gear, and then there's a couple pieces of gear that you can switch out. So first, the Aries Spear. This is pretty much a no-brainer. You get mounted troop attack, marching mounted troop defense, and marching mounted troop HP. So really, everything there is beneficial to you. And then as an added bonus, you get an additional March speed to monster bonus here. So this is definitely gonna help for bosses, but you know that still is the best spear for PvP as well, because you get these marching bonuses. The other option is the Archae Spear, and it has some debuffs in there, which I personally don't think are as important, since you can get those from your subs, and you're really losing a lot on the mounted troop defense and HP that you get from the Aries Spear. So I think the Aries Spear is a no-brainer, definitely critical to have for your mounted general. Another really important piece is the Courageous Ares armor. This, again, you look and see it's basically all mount buffs minus the ranged troop HP at the end. So you have mount troop attack, mount troop defense, and marching mounted troop HP. So there's not any other chess pieces that even give you any mount troop stats, I don't think. So this is, you know, again, no brainer. If you're looking to optimize mount troop buffs, this is for sure the one that you want to go to, the Courageous Ares armor. Then the Fearless Ares leg armor is again kind of a no-brainer here. You get mounted troop attack buff there, and then you also get mounted troop defense for marching troops here. And that's, again, I don't think that there's really any other good options here. So you get mounted troop attack and marching mounted troop defense, which is, you know, two huge pluses here. So no brainer here. Those three options are for sure, you want those three a part of any mounted general that you're going to have. I would also argue that the Fearless Ares boots are also a critical piece, because you get a marching mounted troop attack. It's a little bit smaller, it's only 15%, but you also get this mount troop defense buff of 22%, and then you also get march speed. March speed is always good, especially in PvP. You can decrease, you know, how long it takes to get to the enemy. You don't have to use quite as many march speed ups, things like that. But yeah, there is another option here in the Archae gear, I believe, that gives you like a mount troop HP, but it doesn't give you any attack, and you know, it doesn't have two stats that are beneficial. So again, I would say pretty much without fail, you want this Fearless Ares boots, particularly since, you know, you can get Ares boots fairly easily. The requirements are only the Dragon Master, not any of the harder requirements, such as Wonder or, you know, some of the advanced research. Yeah, so those are the Ares gear, and I would say those are pretty set in stone. You need to have those ones pretty much exactly like I have there. And then, as I mentioned, I have two Archae gear that I'm using to get that set bonus, and I'm optimizing for troop attack here, because this has the mounted troop attack plus 22%, and then it has some debuffs, which these debuffs are actually kind of critical for mount troop PvP, because when you're attacking with mounts, you're trying to take out the enemy ground troops. That's the troop that your mount troops are going to be targeting, and so decreasing the defense and HP, both of which, you know, ground troops have kind of a lot of, is great. Ground troop HP, you know, is a little bit easier to get in gear, so you might not need that quite as much, but the ground troop defense, particularly for more advanced players who have really high ground troop defense, being able to knock that down is definitely a huge bonus here. So there is another option here, and that's the fearless Ares helmet. So let's take a quick look at that. I actually have one on my other gen. I use it for siege. Not great refined, so don't look too much at that. But this one has a mount troop HP plus 22%, and then marching mounted troop HP plus 15%. So you get more overall mount stats, but you lose out on the mount attack, and you don't get some of those debuffs. So if you're looking to go all Aries, definitely this is the one that you wanna pick. The Fearless Aries helmet. This is the best Aries helmet for mounts. But if you're looking to mix and match, I would definitely recommend the Courageous Archae helmet. So the last piece is the ring. And the ring, there's two options here. Again, both have kind of similar attributes in terms of mounted troop defense. That's really the only stat that you get for an Aries or an Archae ring. None of them have attack. None of them have mount troop attack. At least you can see they have other troops attack. But I really like this courageous Archae ring, because it has, obviously it has that's important, but then you have also enemy range troop attack debuff, which is important, right? Because when you're attacking with mounts, the troops that are going to be attacking your troops and having an advantage are the range troops. And so if the enemy has a lot of range troops and have high buffs, your mount attack is not going to do quite as much. So being able to debuff that is certainly a plus for a mount march. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's kind of a toss-up between the two. This ring, and then there's also an Aries ring that works. So again, if you're going full Aries, you should go the Aries ring. But if you're trying to mix and match, which I highly recommend for PvP, definitely the Courageous Archae ring. So let's take a look at that ring. I don't actually have one crafted, but let's take a look at it. So yeah, this you can actually see it here. Again, it's the same mounted troop defense buff of 30%. Actually, the same siege machine attack and range. So basically, those three are the same. The only one that's different is the debuff, and this one has an enemy range troop defense debuff, and it's a little bit less. This is minus 33% versus minus 40% range troop attack debuff with the Archae ring. And I would say that this is just not as important of a stat as the range troop attack. Range troop have much higher attack, and you're not going to be eating through to the range layers quite as much when you're attacking with mounts as you would, say with a different troop type, if a ground or something like that. So definitely the range troop attack debuff is going to be a little bit more beneficial here, in addition to getting the set bonus. But if you're going for full Aries gear for that additional march size, this is the Courageous Aries ring is the one that you would use. So yeah, that's really all I had here for the free mounted troop gear. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any other combination that you think works well, but I think these are kind of the two best options that you have, either the PvP mixed with Aries and Archae gear, or the maybe more for bosses, the full Aries gear, where you get that a little bit more increase of a march size. Yeah, let me know if you have any other questions in the comments, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Definitely helps me out a ton. Thanks everyone. See you next time.